welcome back to Relentless TV. It's me, Kelly, and I am super excited to be coming at you today with some awesome tips and strategies for how to make the most of setting up your community events. Now listen, we know that the best return of investment on your marketing dollars is going to be with obviously Relentless, but also on online advertising, right? Nothing is going to beat what you're going to get in return from Facebook, from Instagram, from Google. But that doesn't mean that you should stop there. In fact, sometimes, as we know, Facebook, Instagram can be unreliable, inconsistent. And so we want to make sure that we are continuously doing something else to help guarantee that we have enough opportunities and leads coming in every month. And I would probably argue that the number 2 most successful way to make sure you're getting enough leads is through community events. So I wanted to give you my best strategies and tips for how you can set up a successful event. And also, I'm going to give you some ideas on how to make this event something a little out of the ordinary and fun for everybody who's involved, your team and the people who are at the event itself. Okay, so a couple of rules about prep and logistics. 1, do your research. So I encourage all the people I work with, specifically studio managers, to set aside time every week in their time block. If you want to know more about time blocking, watch last week's episode. If you want to know more about how to time block for your team, watch last week's episode. But I tell the team they should spend about an hour every week researching community events that are happening in your local area. That way, they're always staying ahead of the curve. I also tell them that they should be trying to book at least 2 community events, that's right, 2, every single month. Now, not every community event that you do has to be a big production. Sometimes being a part of the community event means getting some of your team members dressed in their uniforms, handing out 3x4 cards, introducing themselves, shaking hands. We won't say kissing babies, but making themselves known, introducing themselves in the community. And that can count as a community event for the month. But sometimes we want something a little more extravagant, or we want to be a part of a bigger event, and we probably want at that point to set up some sort of booth, right? So we're going to talk about exactly how you can do that in the best possible way. We also want to find out about the event itself. So some of the things you want to consider. Is the event appropriate for families if you are a family brand? You want to make sure there's not going to be excessive partying or drinking or potentially inappropriate stuff going on. You want to make sure that the audience, the people who are attending the event, are in fact your ideal market and your ideal avatar. So ask some questions about what other types of vendors will be there. Maybe ask who the predominant audience is typically. We also want to just know what time the event starts, how long it is. Is it a 1-day event, 3-day event? So obviously this research phase can take a little bit of time, which again is why I say every week just designate an hour to start the research process, okay? The next thing you want to figure out is your team. Who's going to be at these events? I like to tell people during onboarding that they're required to do 1 community event every 90 days. That's every quarter. Each team member is going to be responsible for hosting/helping a community event. And that way everybody's participating, and it's something that you've talked about at the very beginning of their employment, so it's not a surprise. They're expecting it. Okay, at the particular event, you're going to want to set up a booth. Again, you don't always have to, but if you do, I really recommend getting one of those big canopy tents. Those are something you can actually brand, so you can create your own customized canopy tent. There's lots of companies that do it. You can put pictures of your team or your introductory special. You can put your phone number. You can put QR codes. I mean, you can really customize and design it however you'd like it to look. But that's a great thing to have for your community events. The next thing you might want to invest in, again, these are all just recommendations or ideas, are what we call banner flags or feather flags. And banner flags and feather flags are simply more advertising that allow people to know who you are. Maybe, again, it has your phone number, maybe it has your logo, something that draws attention to your booth, okay? You probably want some sort of table, and I would encourage you to get a branded tablecloth for that table so that it looks professional and not just like a folding table. You're also going to want to make sure your team is dressed in uniform. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean they have to wear their actual karate uniform or whatever it is they work out in, but it should mean that everybody is universally dressed in branded materials, or at least everybody knows that they are with this brand and everybody can identify them as team members, okay? iPads. iPads are great to have at community events because this gives people an easy way to sign up on the spot. So if people are trying to fuss with their phone, or maybe you have them filling something out, it's just a little clumsy. Have an iPad, have 2 iPads on the table so that everybody is really, so it becomes a really easy way for them to sign up for your trial right there and then. Rack cards. Rack cards are essentially 5x9 brochures, and they can be one-sided, they can be an actual folded brochure, and this is going to be the information on your program. Again, the highlights of why this particular audience should choose you, why you're the best, your unique selling propositions, your phone number, and I love including a QR code, right? The QR code is their call to action. I also would encourage you to create some sort of coupon. Okay, and this can be, again, like a 3x4, and it can have any number of ideas. You could give out a free lesson, a free week of lessons, but I like actually including a QR code and saying, scan here to get your free gift now. So if you don't let them know what the free gift is, it creates a little intrigue and gets them to scan the QR code while they're standing there. It will take them to some sort of website where they can get their free gift. Maybe it's a free t-shirt, a free week of classes. Again, that part doesn't matter. So that's an idea. Also, you want to have, or you could, right? Sometimes it's not going to be super easy or possible, but you want to have a TV if you can. If you can hook up a large screen and have some sort of highlight reel playing in the background at your events. Again, maybe if it's outside, it might be a little hard, but you want to roll tape of highlights of your classes, highlights of kids smiling, high-fiving, having fun, highlights of your team, testimonials make a great highlight reel. So if you just have sort of this 3-minute loop that plays at the booth, it helps engage people, it helps create interest. It also helps them see what it's actually like inside your facility and what it feels like to be a member. You can purchase a step and repeat. That's an option as well. Probably not suitable for all events, but again, something that you can stand in front of and take pictures. Other ideas is you can hire a photographer to come to the booth and take pictures of people in front of the step and repeat. Now, if it's the step and repeat has your logo on it, it might not be enough to draw people in to take a picture, but I'm going to show you a tip later that will help people want to come take a photo with you. You might want to get some swag, right? T-shirts, things to hand out, or things to give away. Even any kind of little free gift like a bowl of candy. Maybe you want to hand out stickers or keychains or, I don't know, tattoos, those little fake tattoos. The kids love those. So really just something that helps create interest and gets people excited to come check out your booth. So now you have all of the materials you need to set up your booth. Make sure when you are contacting all of these events that you're introducing yourself. Let them know who you are, perhaps how long you've been serving the community. That's always really great to hear. We've been in business here for over 20 years. We've been serving our community for the past 10 years. We've promoted over 200 kids to black belt in the last 20 years. Those types of facts and figures help create interest for the vendor to want to select you to be there. Maybe you also share what it is that you actually do, and I don't necessarily mean martial arts, but maybe you talk about how you help kids grow in confidence, you help them learn anti-bullying skills, you help them learn how to focus more in school. So you share some of the many wonderful benefits of martial arts so that they're more excited to have you. And then finally, you can talk about your audience or your avatar or who it is that you serve. We primarily work with kids. We also teach adults, so we thought this would be a great event to attend to help engage our community and provide them the opportunity to get these gifts as well. So you've made your introduction. You want to get all the logistics, as I mentioned before. And then once you have all of that nailed down, I would encourage you to think about how you're going to stand out amongst all the other vendors there. So a couple of ideas for you on this. One, and this goes back to our step and repeat, mascots. Mascots are the best way to draw attention to your booth. Kids love hanging out with mascots, and it honestly could be any kind of person in costume. It really doesn't matter. It could be a completely made up mascot. Maybe it's a mascot that is relevant to your business. Or it could be a Ninja Turtle, it could be a superhero, it could be a Disney princess. It really doesn't matter. It's basically something that other people are going to want to be around. You can have a line where they do autographs. You could have a line where they take pictures in front of your step and repeat. See where that came in there? So this is a really fantastic way, again, to just draw attention to your booth. Other ideas for what we call attractors, right? Things that will help attract people. You can get some sort of popcorn machine, right? Something that will allow you to make large quantities quickly. And of course, you're not selling popcorn, you're giving it out for free. But everybody's gonna wanna come get free popcorn, yeah? Or shout out Brandon Beliso. Brandon Beliso's been doing cotton candy machine for years and years, so giving credit where it's due. Fantastic idea, a way for all the kids to get free cotton candy and also to attract them to your booth. You can hire a balloon maker, balloon clown, balloon person who can make balloon animals. We did this at a birthday party once. It cost us about $50 for the hour, and it was a huge hit. The kids loved their balloon swords and their puppy dogs and all that. Very cheap option, doesn't require hardly any investment, but is a great attractor, a bubble machine. Kids love bubbles, so they're like $50. You throw a bunch of bubbles in them and it constantly shoots out bubbles. That's a huge attractor. Kids love to play in the bubbles. So again, what we're doing is we're trying to find things that are usually not martial arts related that help bring people over to our booth. Other ideas I mentioned before is giving out free things. Again, it could be something inexpensive, candy, stickers, tattoos, whatever, coffee, donuts, you name it, it'll work. Now, the most important thing that I'll leave you here with about running community events is that really your intention should not be to sell people at these events. The intention should be to create connection and to create relationships and brand awareness. So if people feel like you're trying to sell them something, they're not going to want to stay and chat with you. What you want to do instead is use your attractors, use all these ideas to bring people over, and then just have a really good time. Introduce yourself, ask questions, get to know them, find out more about them, be interested, be interesting, and then you have a connection and a solid foundation to potentially offer them the next step. Okay, so train your team not to go to sell, but to go and just have fun. Create connection and bring everybody in the community together so that you become known as a powerful influence in your own community. I hope this was helpful. Let me know your thoughts. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Have a great day.